Hi, my name is Alli Gokeler. Welcome to a preview of my course. I've been a physical therapist for over 25 years and received my PhD in motor control and motor learning in 2015 after ACL Reconstruction. I'm going to highlight some of the topics that we're going to discuss in this two-day course on motor learning. For example, the 3 stages that have been proposed on motor learning that athletes have to go through before they reach autonomy of a movement skill. And these are the 3 stages that a lot of therapists still hold on to in the contention that this is what the patients or athletes have to go through. Here are some definitions related to motor learning, and the 4th one is important that I want to pick out for now. It needs to lead to relatively permanent changes. If you look at this graph during practice and afterwards, you may think that Group A is doing better than Group B. However, what we need to realize, like I showed before, is the permanent changes measured in retention. And as you can see here, Group B is outperforming Group A in that respect. So what you see during practice is not always proof of learning. In this example, you see a female athlete practicing a drop vertical jump, and they received various types of instructions and feedback. And in this study, we were particularly interested in whether the skill that she learned to perform a drop vertical jump could also be carried over to another task, as you see in this example, a plant and cut task, which may be relevant for injury understanding of ACL injuries. The contention until now from many therapists is that cognitive changes are necessary for athletes to learn motor skills, and we need to rethink that theory. What we need to understand is that it's a complex interplay between a coach or a therapist and his or her effects on athletes. And of course, we need to consider the aspects of different sports, and we need to consider the differences between athletes and the learning styles, the learning preferences. And in addition, the practice of certain skills and where and how these practice took place. These are all important in our understanding how skills can be enhanced. If you look at the literature, the efficacy of ACL prevention programs are very good. They do so usually in controlled cohorts. The effectiveness probably needs improvement, and perhaps motor control can help in enhancing that. The common denominator of current ACL prevention programs is conscious control over movements, like for example here, the knee over the toe position. These are very explicit instructions on how to move, and that results in explicit knowledge, whereas in normal human movement, implicit knowledge is needed, and not so much explicit knowledge. Wolf presented a new theory on motor learning. It's called the optimal learning theory. It stands for optimizing performance through intrinsic motivation and attention for learning. And this model is a keystone in the 2-day course on motor learning. It's centered around autonomy, enhanced expectancies, and an external focus. Like autonomy, giving the athlete some control over practice conditions really has been shown to enhance motor learning from numerous studies that have been done on this topic. And how can you do that? Well, for example, as shown in the next slide, the athlete can request to hold a bar that may help her to improve her balance. Giving her some control over that will also enhance her motivation. Enhanced expectancies. Think about the positive effects of feedback. self-modeling, the conceptions of ability. Here a study shows the effects on feedback after good controls versus poor trials. It clearly shows that feedback after good trials enhances learning. And this is a study that we did. We also gave athletes some choice over when they received feedback. And you see that in females, video and external feedback enhance learning. In internal focus, you direct your attention on the movements. In external focus, you direct your attention to the goal of the movement, to the task. This can be relatively easy done. On the left, an internal focus, knee over toe. Left, point your knee towards a cone. So with relatively small changes you can acquire effects. We will also review the effect of vision. Mirror neurons are very important to observe movements that activate the certain brain centers that are also active during the actual performance. Here you see a model that was presented lately by Dustin Grooms from Ohio that shows the dependency of patients after ACL reconstruction on visual feedback. Bart Dingenen, a colleague from mine in Hasselt University, and I published a paper in Sports Medicine in 2017. We took a critical step backward in order to move us forward in the terms of the right side received an injury. Here again depicted the effects of external versus internal focus instruction on knee, ankle and hip angles. And this study showed that the effect of an external focus was not only positive on the injured side, but also on the uninjured side. So this can be very important in terms of optimizing return to sports after ACL reconstruction. I want to thank you for your attention and hope to see you soon during one of my 2-day courses.